Hi, this is Matt with Mad Ideas. Tonight we're going to be taking our first foray into constitutional law. Now, in this particular case, I am going to go back into the Hobby Lobby decision. Now, you may remember that Justice Scalia determined that Hobby Lobby, because of its corporate status, but being part of a family company, did not necessarily have to pay for certain birth control. In certain regards, I applaud this decision. Not in the way you might think, though. You see, in his decision, he wrote, and the other justices of the majority complied, that a corporation has the rights of a normal human being. And they've exhibited these rights for many years now. They've shown the right to bear arms. You can't break, the government can't explore a company's resources without a body of evidence or habeas corpus. They have the right to free speech. Now they have the right to free religion. All sorts of different of the amenities provided for a normal human being corporations now have. Except for one, the 13th Amendment. Corporations are still slaves. So what I propose is that our president, President Obama currently, could actually put forward a second Emancipation Proclamation that would allow corporations to be freed. Now, with that, what happens to the assets of the corporations? Well, the parent company could choose responsibility and absorb the company into itself, or it could cut it loose from the time of the proclamation with all the resources that are appropriated out to that company. They couldn't rob it blind and let it loose. They would actually have to let it loose on its own. Now, one of the great things about this proposal is there are certain companies that are just dead weight. They are there as a tax write-off. They are there to fail. It would also take over where the Hayes Antitrust Act cannot go. You see, the Antitrust Act prevents a company from dominating a certain industry. The last two recent, I guess we'll say, victims of this were Microsoft and Ma Bell. As you may recall, they had too much of a control of the industry. So what happens? The government uses the Hayes Antitrust Act, breaks the monopoly. In this case, though, it would take the control out of companies who have a lot of parallels that aren't necessarily unconnected, but because of that have amassed a lot of wealth and accordingly a lot of power that can buy congressmen on their whim now. These companies would be fractured and accordingly lose that power, or they would all become part of one major company and they would also be held accountable for all their side decisions, meaning they wouldn't be able to keep the courts tangled up because all the suits would be against one company now as compared to several different parallel companies. So it is truly a mad idea, but in the near future I am going to again try to put forward a petition to the president to have a second Emancipation Proclamation to free these slave companies. Thank you for listening to Mad Ideas.